Good evening and welcome to the Friday edition of the news on DBS television. This is of course the last edition for the week. We shall begin by giving you the headlines and then the details would follow right away. In the headlines, Cameroon prepares to face DRC this Saturday in the quarterfinals of the ongoing CHAN in Cameroon. This as the Republic of Congo and its team is facing challenges of COVID-19. Hotel and restaurant waiters and waitresses across Cameroon have met in a national competition in Douala, where the best in the sector has been selected. And in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Prime Minister is now former Prime Minister after he accepted to resign following the vote made by lawmakers to remove him from his position in the government of the country. Those were the headlines. Details will follow in a moment, so stay with us. If you are just tuning in, then you are watching DBS television. This is the 7 p.m. news presented by me, Cynthia Ngwemo. We open this edition of the news beginning in sport, as quarterfinals of the African Championship currently ongoing in Cameroon will kickstart on Saturday, with the most expected match for Cameroonians being that of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon against the Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This game is also considered to be the biggest of the quarterfinals. It would be played at Japoma Stadium in Douala at 8 p.m. local time. Cameroon qualified for this stage after a long-fought match against Burkina Faso in Yaoundé, which ended with a 0-0 draw on January 24. The Democratic Republic of Congo, on the other hand, reached the latest 8th of the tournament on Monday, the 25th, after a 2-1 victory over Niger. Recall that the Leopards of the DRC had been ravaged by COVID-19 after 9 players tested positive and are now in isolation. The Congolese Federation has said their coach, goalkeeper and other players have all tested negative and took part in the training session held on Wednesday in the city of Douala. A consultation firm known as EduPro has launched its first section of activities in Cameroon to empower students in the socio-professional integration of young graduates into the job market of Cameroon. The event, which took place on January 24 in Douala, gave way for the youth to have some training in their career-oriented education. Nde Vanessa Shuyong took part in this event and now gives us the feedback.
In a workshop organized by EduPro Education and Professionalization, students, parents and representatives of enterprises met to exchange ideas on how youth can appropriately be equipped for a competitive job market. Given that about 76% of Cameroonian youth are unemployed due to numerous reasons, this consulting firm thought it wise to create a platform to orientate young learners in a career they have chosen.
Du coaching pour faire éclore le talent que ce jeune dispose et qui l'a conduit.
We offer them personal development lesson coaching to bring to limelight the talents youths have. We accompany them with workshops, be in the domain of marketing, human resources management, such that if there is a need for a specific skill required, we can provide them even at the international level.
The objective of this offer is to boost the rate of employability of job seekers by getting them ready to become the golden talent needed by employers.
The search for a job is an art, a whole industry and science in itself. Given it is a science, education professional looks for professional experts to enable a student to elaborate well on his or her project, thereby optimizing his enthusiasm, determination in search of the job.
To optimize their results, EduPro accompanies the students physically, emotionally and psychologically by putting in place all it takes to be ready. Alongside the government, schools and enterprises, the firm coaches orientate and direct young dynamic youth to become entrepreneurs themselves.
Coming for this workshop, I was hoping to see projects for future entrepreneurs, the different programs proposed by the consulting firm, assure youth, reduces frustration, and prepares them at the end of their studies. At the end of my studies, if I have difficulties to go for internship or get work, I can turn to EduPro.
The training some of these enterprises offer will permit the youth to be directly employed.
Offer training to youths that will permit them to have direct access to employment. It's no longer time to say, I have a diploma or a master's, when you cannot do something. In our company, it's the knowledge, the know-how, and the know-how to be that is important to us.
Education and professionalization thus provides training, coaching, and integration of young learners in the labor market, both at the national and international magnitude.
Still talking career and career choice, the 2021 edition of selecting best waiters and waitresses in Cameroon has taken place in the city of Douala, bringing together candidates from within and out of the littoral region. And in Douala particularly, this competition was used to stress the importance of the place of servants in this sector in and out of Cameroon. Mange Venasius attended it, and now he gives us the feedback.
With majestic steps, focus, and concentration, these waiters and waitresses made strides to showcase their know-how in a competition that saw the participation of over 15 candidates drawn from renowned hotels and restaurants from within the city of Douala and beyond. Taking place at Lewat Hotel in Douala, Cameroon, Thursday, January 28, 2021, the jury had a well-defined target divided in 9 rubrics, each evaluated on 10 points. These candidates were expected to dress a dining table and then undress it within a given time frame. Talent, which were distinguished in Nguet Gael, who emerged the overall winner, becoming the best waiter in Cameroon for 2021, with Bema Victoire and Minyang Njok Donald as runners-up for the second and third places respectively. Besides going home with trophies and awards, these waiters and waitresses all demonstrated the richness with which Cameroon is blessed as a tourist destination.
The winner has all these qualities. You have seen he was well dressed, the way that he was setting up the table and everything was with professionalism. That is what is very important for us, because when you have customers, the customers in 3 stars, 4 stars and above are people who are traveling a lot, and it's very important to have the professionalism.
Organized by Cameroon Hotel Industries and Tourism Employers Federation, the target of the competition is to let this important sector of the tourism industry to be valorized. The 2021 edition has gone down to history as a successful one, and all eyes are now turned to the next edition.
Journalists and media practitioners in the East region of Cameroon have just been commended concerning their great effort in ameliorating the state of COVID-19 in their region. This was manifested through a donation of COVID-19 preventive materials to men and women of this profession in the East region by the regional delegation of Public Health. In the following report, Nde Vanessa Shuyong tells us that this was also aimed at boosting them to continue the great work. Now let's get her report.
The fight against coronavirus is known to have taken a slack turn in Cameroon, resulting to an upsurge in the number of infections and deaths, as reported by the Ministry of Public Health. However, in the East region, media outlets, both public and private, have been doing a commendable job with sensitizing the population against COVID-19 ever since the pandemic broke out in Cameroon. This, according to the East Regional Delegate of Public Health, Dr. Desiree Anissé Mintop, who assembled managing directors of media houses of the region of the Rising Sun on Thursday to congratulate them for their daily endeavors in the fight against COVID-19 in the region. He acknowledges the role of the media in passing the right information to the public with regards to the pandemic. In order to assist them in this noble task, The regional delegate of public health, accompanied by the regional delegation of communication, thought it wise and helpful to donate to each man and woman of the media COVID-19 preventive materials to encourage their good fight.
We want to give them some material to protect themselves when they are doing their job, because now for the sensitization for the population to COVID-19 and other disease, to respect the barrier measure.
Charles Asale, regional delegate of communications, while handing the items to the media, called on them to ensure the adequate use, accompanied by more sensitization and being exemplary. While receiving face masks, cartons of soap and hand-washing gel plus sensitization stickers, the journalists appreciated the move.
This initiative by the regional delegation of public health of the East to give material to fight against COVID to the men of the press is laudable, in the sense that those of us who work as pressmen are most exposed to dangers of contamination, because we work with the outside world, and the outside world, as we know, the virus has no limit. So we are most exposed, and we think this initiative has come at the right time, even though we thought it could have been done at the beginning of the pandemic. So we think it is something which is appreciable, and it is going to help us in our daily work.
It is coming late for sure, but it is not the end, says Minsante regional delegate.
This action will continue with the district, with the community radio, to improve the kit for these staff, communication staff, to work to the field.
The fight against COVID-19 continues not just for the media, but for the whole country and the world.
The University of Chang in the West region of Cameroon and municipal councils have just concluded a partnership agreement. The signing ceremony took place at the banquet hall of the council. This is for the putting in place of the concept of municipal university, which other councils have been adopting since 2019 in the West region and will in the days ahead be implemented in Kiosi in the South region. It is a win-win partnership for the two institutions, as the Mayor Jacques Gabriel Kemle explains in the following excerpts gotten by our West regional correspondent Alexis Yangwa. Now listen to the Mayor.
Today, you and the national opinion know that the Council of Chang and the University of Chang have a convention inside which we will do many things. We have many projects we have to implement in our council, and today you can be sure that the personnel, the mayor and the councillor, we have the opportunity to see their capacity be reinforced, and it is why we are very happy, and we can say to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Chang that we have done something very good in our country.
The sanitary condition of Kongsamba in the littoral region has been a major preoccupation for the authorities of this part of the country, as well as for the population. Gathered in a meeting presided at by the divisional officer Yufendi Hamid, the administration recently united the populations with the administration in order to put hands together and see what they can do to give Kongsamba the facelift that it much deserves. Mange Venasius completes that story.
Quarter heads, service heads, school administrators, groups and associations all brainstormed in a meeting presided at by the divisional officer for Kongsamba 2 subdivision, Yufendi Hamid, with the aim of upgrading the sanitary situation of their area. This was to be achieved through relaunching the Thursday cleanup campaign exercise in the entire subdivision, an initiative that has always been the preoccupation of the Mayor, Samin Patrice. The divisional officer used the occasion to invite the entire population to join forces with the administration so as to give a new facelift to their locality. It was equally an opportunity for them to begin preparations for the upcoming 55th edition of the Youth Day by harmonizing information for a successful celebration in Kongsamba 2 subdivision. The meeting took place on the 28th of January 2021 at the Divisional Officers Conference Room in Kongsamba 2 subdivision.
Now we open the African page with an update from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the Prime Minister Sylvestre Ilunga has accepted the Parliament's vote of no confidence in him, resulting to his removal from his position. He said on Thursday that he accepts the vote and he has accepted to resign from the post of Prime Minister in this country. This opens the way for President Felix Tshisekedi to appoint his loyalists to lead key ministries in the country. The departure of Ilunga, an ally of former President Joseph Kabila, strengthens President Tshisekedi's break from an alliance with Mr. Kabila to share power when he took office 2 years ago. The alliance, which faced Tshisekedi to bargain with his predecessor over any policy shift, was part of the challenges facing his government as it sought to calm violence in Congo's eastern part. Mr. Kabila's allies have dominated the administration until now. Tshisekedi had launched talks last month to broaden support for his government, helping him secure parliamentary majority. The presidency lately said 391 lawmakers out of 500 in Congo's lower house now backed the president's now political alliance known as the Sacred Union. And now in Guinea, opposition politician Oumar Silla, known as Fonike Mange, has received a prison sentence of 11 months with accusations of him inciting riot and causing disorder in the country. The critic of Guinea's President Alpha Condé was sentenced by a court in the country to the month-long prison term, accusing him of the said charges. He is an outspoken critic of President and was opposed to the constitutional change that Condé made to allow him to run for a third term. After running for the post again, Condé, aged 82, won the vote in the violently disputed October 18 election. Oumar Silla was arrested in September, though he says he was kidnapped and detained. While he was taken away after the sentence, Silla said he would continue to fight against the election. Condé's re-election had caused mass protests that resulted to dozens of people being killed and hundreds arrested. Earlier this month, 2 other opposition figures were each sentenced to a year in prison on charges of inciting insurrection, and they were fined over 1 million francs CFA. Oumar Silla is a member of the opposition coalition FNDC in Guinea. And in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, farmers as well as landowners have won a battle against Shell, which is an energy company known all over the world. This follows an order by a Dutch court today, Friday, ordering Shell to pay compensation in a long-running case brought forth by 4 Nigerian farmers who accuse the oil giant of oil spill and widespread pollution. It comes after 13 years of legal battle for 2 villages in Niger's Niger Delta. The amount of compensation would be established later, and the date has not been set. Now, although only Shell's Nigerian subsidiary was held responsible, the decision is expected to pave a way for more environmental cases against the oil company. With that story from Nigeria, we mark an end to this edition of the news on DBS Television. Thank you for watching. I am Cynthia Ngwemo for presentation, and we do hope to see you on Monday while you stay on DBS Television and enjoy your weekend. Good night.